Wow, a nice live Thursday sports. This has to be our fourth show, I think. Or I did 3 on my own. We had my brother on last week, which was awesome. And welcome to a Thursday show. I'm a little bit late this week. Usually we get it prior to the game, and then by halftime, you can get the podcast wherever you listen. Later on, usually by halftime. Today it'll be a little bit later. Obviously, always available Friday morning. But welcome to a Thursday show. We got a lot to talk about. We have Phillies playoff baseball for the first time in 11 years. We have a huge undefeated Eagles matchup this weekend. I still want to recap the Jags game. Not that I know much about it because it was a crazy Sunday, and I'm going to talk to you about that a little bit. Let's see if we got some memes going as well. Some memes of the week. So we're going down to Arizona, so it's going to be exciting. Thursday Night Football, if you're watching, I have seen enough of the Denver Broncos. I have a Jetro double nickel here going on. Let's go. And we're live on TikTok as well as Facebook, and then the show is available anywhere you listen to your podcast. So, you know what? Let's recap last week. Let's start with a little bit of fun. So we went to DC, and it was crazy. And we're going to Arizona this week. So we did not go to the Eagles-Jags game. It actually had nothing to do with the weather. Before we knew the weather was going to be bad, we weren't going to go. Spent some time with the family. My wife works on Sundays. And we're going to Arizona this week. So we gave the Eagles-Jags tickets to awesome people that follow us. And they had a great time because it's covered there. So anybody that sits in our section, the weather really doesn't matter because pretty much covered. It's the first row that's covered, so you might get a little wet, but for the most part, it's fun and it's comfortable, and the people that sit in our section are amazing. I'm so sick of watching the Denver Broncos on frickin' Thursday. If you want to join the studio, too, I just posted a link on our Facebook page. If you want to come in the studio, I can join you on the show. You can join me on the show. So Sunday, I didn't go to the game. So I went to my hometown bar, went to Charlie's, wearing the shirt right now. Obviously, there's a 9 a.m. London game, 9, 10 o'clock. Usually 10, 11, you got to go to get a bar seat for a 1 o'clock Eagles kickoff. It's fully booked over there. So we go there, start drinking beers 9 a.m., move to the back sidebar, and go Birds, baby. We moved to the back bar, and every Eagles go down 14-0, and we're like, okay, well, we can't win every game. This is a tough Jags team. Doug Peterson's coming to town. They beat the Chargers. They beat a bunch of good teams. I don't want to talk about the Jags, but we're like, okay, we're down 14-0. Like, this is the game we thought it was going to be. This is not your old Jags team. So we got to do something to change the vibe, change the energy. We start doing shots. We start ripping shots. Eagles come down, score 14-7. I think at that point to get the tying score before the half, Jalen Hurts has that huge touchdown where he bulldozes somebody to get in. That if we end up doing something special this year, that play will be forever remembered as, I think, a key play that catapulted that game. So nobody lost their composure. We didn't as fans. Some of you at home may have lost your composure. Started ripping shots. Eagles score, take a shot. We did it before the Eagles scored just to get the mojo juices going. Eagles scored, take a shot. Eagles score again, take a shot. Bradbury interceptions, taking shots. That guy's amazing signing. We're going to have to lock him up. Hurts the man. Going to have to sign Ponzios. Dude, my wife loves Ponzios in Cherry Hill. So we never lost faith. We're going to have to sign Bradbury too, by the way, and not going to have enough money to sign Miles Sanders. And we're going to have a bunch of first-round picks, a bunch of middling picks. We're going to be able to get some depth backs. I love Trey Sermon. I really do. So we'll be fine at running back. And Miles Sanders is going to have probably the best year of his career this year, and he deserves it, and he's on a contract year. But I don't see him coming back. Any event, we friggin' drank, and then my wife was working. I'm totally in trouble. Luckily, I'm bringing her to Arizona with us, which is awesome. So she's coming on the trip with us this week to Arizona. And I probably should have went home and let the dogs out. Never did. Abandoned them. Horrible dog dad. Terrible. Probably one of my worst moments of all time. So I stayed out all night with the boys. We were at the bar. We were there for the 1 o'clock game, some of the 4 o'clock game. Went back to my buddy's house for a little bit. And then for the night game, we were like bored. Like, why not? Wanted to keep the party going. Instead of winding it down going into work, we're like, hey, let's go. We didn't eat dinner. We didn't really eat much during the Eagles game. I got some like snack sampler like kind of crap, but nothing like hearty. So we're like, let's go back there. Let's go back to Charlie's and actually eat. And we did. We ate. We had beers. And then at that point, probably should have went home again. And I went to my buddy's instead because there's a nice halfway point between where I was and home. Oh, man, I live really close. We'll go soon. Send me a message. So people are saying, I want to go to Charlie's. If you're not listening live, everyone wants to rip Charlie's. So let's rip Charlie's. Let's rip beers. Send me a message when you're down. We live down here by Ocean City, down the shore. So we're always out there. So we stayed there pretty much from 9 a.m. till last call, and was hurting Monday. Went to work, killed it, closed some deals. So Eagles Jags was sick. Now we're undefeated. Going down to Arizona, and we're gonna I'll talk about Arizona and what I think is gonna happen. A lot of important things. But before I get to look ahead to the Arizona game and give you my prediction and stuff like that, want to do some housekeeping kind of things. Don't totally talk a whole lot about Sixers and Flyers. Flyers sent down their top prospect. They're a gong show organization. And they're terrible. But Tyrese Maxey, Sixers, 41 points in 2 preseason games. Everyone says, the Sixers can't get out of their own way. They can't get past the second round. BS. This guy Harden takes a pay cut. Maxey's on fire. This team, this is their year, baby. This is our year, baby. This is our year. But enough of that. Phillies, too. Phillies, I'll tell you a funny story about the Phillies, and then we'll get to Eagles, Cardinals. I'll tell you a funny-ass story about the Phillies and why the Phillies are going all the way, too, because I'm the most unlucky human being in the world. My work, we have Phillies season tickets, and they sent us to pre-purchase playoff tickets. Now, they wanted $9,000 for all of the playoff tickets. So this is before seating and anything. They said now, basically, I work in Atlantic City, live down in Marmora, but they said the Phillies want $9,000 for the tickets because they could have like 2 or 3 NLDS games. They could have 3 to 4 NLCS games, which they definitely won't have 4 NLCS games because they're the last seed. So they'll have 3 at most there. So, and then they say you could have up to 4 World Series games, which those tickets, I don't know, those tickets are going to be, for the Phillies World Series, those tickets are going to be probably upwards of $1,000 a seat. So we have 4 seats. So if they have 4 games, 4 seats at a $500 to $1,000 a seat, right there, just if for some reason they get to the World Series, it's thousands of dollars. But in my head, originally when they sent the invoice, I said, okay, $9,000 for 10 games. That's like $900 a game divided by 4 seats. Now I'm doing math. I'm doing beer math. Our season tickets are like $60 or $100 face value. With my math, these games, they were charging me well over $200 face value times 4 seats times 10 games. Our company was not about to front $10,000. Now, if these games don't happen, we get the money back. But we opted not to shell out the $8,000 or $9,000 for the playoff tickets. Now I know they're going to go on a historic run. They're going to take it to the freaking World Series. The tickets are going to be $1 million. You're not going to be able to get the tickets. I could have had them, passed them up, and the Phillies totally have a huge shot at beating the Cardinals. The Cardinals don't have elite pitching. They're kind of like us, how we were early in the year, where we didn't have one great guy. We had like 5 solid guys. Now we pretty much have a top 1-2 with Wheeler and Nola. So the Cardinals don't have elite pitching. They have a bunch of really good guys. We're 4-3 against them this year. We've played them 7 times, I think. Don't quote me on that. And, you know, we match up well against this team. They don't overmatch us. It's not Max Scherzer. You don't have, guys like that pitching. We went down there. We've won games down there this season. The Phillies said all the right things. And I didn't think I was going to be so moved during the post game because I was so frustrated this whole year with all of the ups and downs. And watching that post celebration and before the post celebration, Rhys Hoskins crying and all the people talking, getting interviewed on TV. If you don't have local TV, I feel terrible if you're out of market because the local post game broadcast, they were in the locker room for like 2 hours. It was outstanding. So it moved me. And now I am all in. The team moved me. They seem like a tight-knit group. They were very annoying this year. A lot of the guys have not played in the playoffs with Segura and JT Realmuto. Their whole careers, those guys, even on other teams, never played a postseason game. I don't know much about any of the other teams. I've kind of been just compartmentalizing it and just like saying, hey, I'll worry about it when I have to kind of thing. Like, let's get me in. I don't care who we play. Even if we play the Mets, we lost to them so much this year. If you were to play that team 20 times, I don't know, would they really beat you 15 times, or are we more even than we think? And we lost them, I think, like 14 times this year. Like, if I play them another 4-3 in a game series of 3 or a series of 5, like, I got to think I have a chance of winning more games than we did this year. Add that on top of all the times we played them and lost. Like, you have to – baseball is a game where the worst team in the league wins 60, 70 games. So you're telling me with all the times we played the Mets and all the times plus the postseason, if we play them in the next round, I think we have a good chance just because the law of averages. Like, we lost to them so many times in a row, we got to get a win. And then once you get a win against a team like that, it could catapult you forward. So I don't think we're overmatched by the Cardinals. Maybe you'll draw the Mets or the Dodgers next and we'll be overmatched and be sent home. But right now, man, this is probably as good. If you're okay with just getting through one round and that's a successful year, you got that matchup. Some people wanted to play the Mets or the Braves first because with Wheeler and Nola in a best of 3, I'd rather play a harder team now and then play maybe a Padres team or a Cardinals team in a later round, which is okay. But just get me in the tournament. I don't give a crap who I play. They got in. Super excited. We're going down to Arizona, so I'm going to be flying down tomorrow. So when we land, the game will already be underway, which is super unfortunate. I'm hoping with the Wi-Fi and if I can either get MLB TV or if there's a TV or ESPN or ABC. The game's on ABC. ABC on the plane, or I pay for Hulu. I have live TV. I have ESPN. I have every Hulu, friggin' college, ABC network. And I think the games are on ABC, ESPN family of networks tomorrow. So I'm hoping, like, whether it's streaming and listening to Odyssey, I can get Scott Fransky. So if you know how to listen to the game and you catch this podcast before the Phillies throw first pitch, please let me know how I could listen out of market on an airplane. I don't even need to watch it. I need radio. I need TV. I need something. Someone said Stream East Live. I'm gonna get in trouble for whipping out these weird underground sites. But yeah, a lot of you guys have a lot of Phillies memory. I remember going to the parade. My guy Phil said in 2008 he worked in Philly, and they were setting up the World Series parade, and it was Halloween day. And I came back. I was in high school at the time, actually. I came back, and I went to a party at my good friend, like my best friend, Shayna Kutro's house. Rando, shout out. Need to link back up with her. She moved out of our area. But great memories, man. First parade ever, championship team, 2008. The Phillies have a soft spot in my heart. So, before I do a little bit of Eagles, I just want to shout out them. Wish them best of luck. We're going to have 450 Eagles fans down there. We're going to be at bars down there. I won't be in St. Louis. I'm going to be in Arizona playing the other Cardinals. Somebody said the Eagles play the Cardinals, the Phillies play the Cardinals. I do think that's hilarious. Let's beat the Birds, the other Birds, not us. Let's beat the Birds this weekend, which is exciting. And this can is super awesome. I'm going to take a sip, and while I check Thursday Night Football, it is awful. Nice. Quick sip break, but doing this solo pod today. If you want to get on, let's do it. In a future week, not today. But I'm so sick of watching the Broncos on primetime football. 5 weeks in a row, I think they've been on. So we did a meme of the week segment last week. I'll see if I can pull it up. We've had some funny memes on our page. It's not really a meme. I think the most controversial stuff we have right now would be Tom Brady. One says Tom Brady getting dumped by a supermodel, and then there's like a little Ben Affleck smoking a cig, and it says his son knowing he'll have to pick up some of the kissing duties now, and he looks all bummed and stressed out. So I'm going to see if we can take a look at some of these memes and some of these comments. Imagine how many tablets he's going to throw. He didn't win that marriage either. Joking aside, we've all seen what happens when Tom doesn't get his way. I can't believe, and I don't want to make this a Tom Brady podcast because I'm going to pivot this really quick to Eagles, I promise. So thank you for bearing with me. And go Birds. But I can't believe they met in 2006, which was 16 years ago, and they've been married for 11 years, known each other for 16 years. He's got to be, I know he keeps going one more year, Tom Brady, but he's got to be like within the last 1 to 3 years of his career. So for her to this must have been lingering for so long, for her to back out of the relationship now at this point, she's with him. So if let's keep numbers simple here. If they knew each other for 20 years and she's already gotten through 16 of it, she's going to quit now? And the family, everything? Divorce is never funny, especially to children. These are the funny comments. The best part of this meme is that Ben was with Bridget before Tom. I don't know what that means. This meme is in bad taste. It always seems a bit funnier when it's not the one who's making the joke. On that note, goodbye. You guys are so lame that get triggered by these memes. It's not even funny. This Ben Affleck meme reads 22,000 people. I mean, we had one last week that reached like 100,000. So this is a funny meme. It sums up Philly like 100% sums up Philly. It is the Braves in first, the Mets in second, and the Phillies in third, and they're the one popping champagne and like partying, and they are partying. They deserve to friggin' party it. They waited so long. And our last controversial post of the week, please get involved with our controversial posts. Our last controversial post of the week, those of you who are not on our Facebook page has probably the most of all our following. It's this Bobby Wagner that knocked the guy out that was streaking on the field. The individual who ran on the field and was like streaking or whatever they call it, he's suing Bobby Wagner for getting knocked out. And my brother's take on it was basically like, I'm pro streaker. People that do it are idiots. They know they're getting arrested. He's clearly not a threat. You're at wherever the game was, whether the Rams were home or the other team was home. It's like if somebody breaks into your house and you have the right to defend yourself and shoot them or whatever. If someone runs on the field in the house of the team, the security tases them, the team officials tase them, this triggered a lot of people. Anybody that works for the team, the owners, it's their house. It's not the player's room to go and knock a guy out. Like, it's not his house. It's not Bobby Wagner's team. He kind of acted as a vigilante. Dude's on an island with this. I thought it was a good hit. I know why this guy is suing him. He should have been arrested by cops. He should have been put in cuffs. He should have been tased. He shouldn't have been laid out by a freaking 250-pound linebacker. He could have been brought to the ground by him. But the guy was like hit stick, like it was like NFL blitz or something like that. So I don't think Bobby Wagner should have did what he did. He laid the guy out. You could have grabbed the guy, wrapped him up, did something like that, sat on him, laid down on him, whatever. But this guy's now suing Bobby Wagner, and I bet you he'll win. I bet you he'll win, and that's hilarious. So we also have a page for our fantasy football league. It is Bungalow FFL on Instagram. And we have this theory that if you start a player on Thursday Night Football, that they have a higher, which it's so true now with all the injuries and all these guys getting banged up. We've had this theory for years, and it wasn't really an injury thing. It was like on this short week, we called it Thursday Night Fart Starts. It's the only game on. It's the game everyone's watching. When you have 10 guys going in fantasy, you're going to have one or two duds. But if all the games are being played at one, it's way less noticeable than when you have a guy start on Thursdays. So if you have like one or two of your 10 guys on Thursday and they give you like a big fat goose egg, we call it a Thursday Night Fart Start. So this game is a total fart of a game, giving way too much. I always, at least every week, give way too much exposure to something that nobody cares about. But I'm sure you guys care. You don't want to watch these freaking dreadful teams on Thursday night. Give me something. Give me something important. And we'll watch. Thursdays will be much better. The first couple weeks there's some good Thursday games, but all right. So let's get to Eagles, Cardinals. If you're going to Arizona, got to shout out Philly Sports Trips. They're already there. They're going to be golfing tomorrow. There's going to be a party hosted by Seth Joyner, the man, the post-game man. He speaks for all of us. Seth Joyner. Tickets are available for that. It's in Old Town Scottsdale. If you live in Arizona, there's tons of Eagles fans in Arizona from the old NFC East days. There's tons of Eagles fans coming from Philly. There's tons of Eagles fans coming from all over the country. There's tons of Eagles fans coming from all over the world. So if you're going to be in Old Town Scottsdale, Seth Joyner, food, drinking, I think there's an outdoor area, so there'll be some cigars for all the big heavy hitters out there. Tickets are available, phillysportstrips.com. They also have a huge freaking tailgate, which my man Phil's going to Birds Packers. He's going off. We got Eagles Dallas next week, so we got the heavy home tailgates on lock. But when we go to road trips, Philly Sports Trips, Sunday, we have freaking 8 a.m. start, walking distance to the stadium, breakfast till 10, lunch, drinks, celebrities, other pages that are cooler than mine. There's going to be E-Rock DJing. If you know Eric Emanuel, he's hilarious. He's DJing. I'm not even going on the trip with these guys. Next time I'm going on the full trip, they're staying at this ridiculous hotel. They're golfing. It's included. All their parties are included, everything like that. We have a big house with some friends of ours. But they invited me in with open arms, so there's still tickets available if you're going yourself like I am to go to the tailgate, party at the tailgate, support them, support me, because this is our new kind of partnership with them. And Sunday tailgate, is going to be awesome. And there's tickets available for that and for the Friday night party. Now, Saturday, we got a free party. So if you want to go to a free party, you just show up, cash bar. Tons of people are going to be in attendance for that. But it's going to be a vibe down there. Here's why this team scares me. This team scares me because they're 2-2. They're home. They were supposed to be a playoff contender. I think home field advantage is really strong. I think they move the ball a lot on us. So if our defense doesn't continue to be as on point as it was, although the receivers are not as good down in Arizona, that we could be in trouble. I think Kyler Murray is annoying. I think he extends plays. I don't think he's very good. I think could bring us back to the Eagles of old when you play these quarterbacks that are not that good, but every time you play like certain guys, like the Joe Webb game. I'm not going to call him Joe Webb because Kyler Murray's a franchise quarterback, but you have these guys that are Eagles folklore that every time we play them, they have a day. And I don't want it to be that day because the Eagles line opened up at Eagles minus 6.5. So if you don't bet, what does that mean? That means that 6.5 points, let's call it 7. Let's call it a touchdown. It was basically saying that the Eagles were going to win by at least, Vegas thinks, and Vegas is the smartest people on the planet. Vegas thought the Eagles will win by at least 6.5 points. Ton of people bet on that or bet on the Cardinals, I believe. So now it's down to -5. So now take 5 points away from the Eagles. They still think the Eagles are going to win by 5 points. They thought they were going to win as much as 6.5 points. A lot of money probably going on the Cardinals. And I don't know if you guys know who Millionaire Marco is. He usually puts a lot more, which may help us. But Millionaire Marco, he's usually putting $1 million on games, or he's doing parlays that pay out $1 million. But he put straight up on Cardinals money line, I think $100,000, and on Cardinals spread, he put another $100,000. So he laid out 200 to win like 290 or something like that. So this is a huge trap game for the Eagles. I said it last week. We have to lose the game eventually. But with 450 to 500 Eagles fans going to this tailgate with Philly sports trips, plus all the other fan groups out there, plus people just going on their own, plus Eagles just traveling heavy, plus us having way more weapons than them. Oh, and another thing I didn't leave out before I give my visit. I know you're dying. I know you're dying for the prediction. But J.J. Watt, they have the storyline. And now there's a lot of people that are convinced that the NFL is an entertainment league. That's why these games are so close. It's rigged, the refs, the conspiracies. If you're a conspiracy type person, J.J. Watt, man, this guy is a baller. He's one of the faces of the league. He now has a irregular heartbeat. So prayers are for J.J. Watt. Huge fan of his. Class act for all the things he's done on and off the field. He's got a heart thing going on. He's going to play for it. He's probably going to come out. It's going to be an emotional game. Football's an emotional game in general. They're the home team. They need this game more than us. So, let's look at, before I give you the prediction, let's take a look at the Eagles over under, what it's at now. So it's at 48.5. I feel like every Eagles game has been, they think they're going to score at least 50 points. By the way, I picked the Eagles last week 30-20, and the Eagles won 29-21. So I picked them 30-20. I was off by 2 points last week. So I'm pretty damn good at picking it. Yeah, I'm going to pick the Eagles every single week. But I look at the points. They think there's going to be 48.5. I'm going to say over. I'm going to say 49. I'm going to say 50 points again. So how do you get to 50 points? 30-20 Eagles. Again, I can't take the same score that I took 2 weeks in a row. So why don't I do this? If I did 31-28, that would put me way over. That would put me at 59. They think we're going to score 50 points here total in the game. So let me do a gut-wrenching under 47 points, 24-23 Eagles on a late Dicker the kicker field goal, 21-23. Eagles go down. They kick a Dicker the frickin' kicker field goal. Eagles win. There you have it. There you have it. Thanks so much for listening this week. We're going to have a crypto. Ertz is going to have a freaking touchdown or two for sure. We're going to have ripto enthusiasts on next week, hopefully. And if your business wants to get involved and become a sponsor of the podcast, to be honest with you, the podcast being what it entails being a sponsor of the podcast, we'll talk about you on here, but we're still growing this. But what we will do for all them, we'll give you exposure to all of our channels, which are posts on our other channels, whether it's by having you sponsor our meme of the week, or get on our Instagram story, or get on our Facebook story, or get in the news feed, or else create graphics. We can create videos for you. If you want to be a sponsor, you'll get full digital marketing effort. You'll get exposure to all of our channels. And, of course, we'll put your watermark and your logo on our podcast. So if you want to get involved, let me know. Send me a message here. If you know any businesses that love Philly sports and buy sports marketing, I promise you this. I will keep talking about it, and I will keep posting about it and referring people. Now, I work in media sales for another station. I will tell you, some of our posts reach more listeners than any of the advertising mediums I sell, than a TV cable channels in my market, than the radio station's cumulative audiences, if it's 50,000, 60,000. We have posts that reach millions of impressions and millions of users each week. So I will keep working for you. We really want to grow this thing, and we really appreciate it. And we hope to see you at home games and tailgates and on away trips too with Philly Sports Trips. So thanks so much. Anywhere you listen to your podcast, it'll be available shortly tonight as well as every Friday morning, usually by halftime of the Thursday night game, or if you want to listen on your way to work or your lunch break Friday, that's cool too. That's why we do it Thursday nights. So thanks so much, and fly Eagles fly. 24-23 Birds moves to 5-0. The Phillies advance this week. We beat up on the Cardinals, and have yourself a very Philly weekend.